Hey, I'm trying to fix a Christmas picture. Hey, Life of Patricia, how you doing? Good evening. I'm coming out early so I can watch the news tonight to see what they got going on and have time enough to charge my phone up tonight. I'll charge my phone up. I'll put it on the charger. Hey, other person in here, can y'all hit the button? Thank you. Appreciate you. Trisha, how your son doing? How you doing? But how your son doing out there in the Atlanta with all that snow? I know is that something new for him to be in that snow? That's snore. The snow. Trying to say too many words at one time and they ain't coming out. Oh, well, that's good. I kind of wish we had some snow, but not none to stay no more than a day. Just at least let it snow for a day, and then after that for it to go, because our city don't know how to conduct business in the snow. It's already schools are out tomorrow, and a lot of jobs won't open. Like people that are normally working 9 to 5, people they won't normally. They say they'll know in the morning. Their jobs will do a text or a blast, let them know whether to come in like at 12 and then work the rest of the day. But like a friend of mine, she said that right when I talked to her earlier, she said she hadn't gotten a text yet. So they may be out of work again tomorrow. But I kind of wish it would snow here in Houston, at least a good snow for one day. Let the we've had before, let it stay on the ground for a day. Let the kids be able to make snowmans and people be able to go out and throw their little snowballs and stuff like that. And like they did one time that people took like boards. Some had like the boogie boards, or they use baskets and stuff to slide down. Like they went to a certain area and slide down the hills in the grass, and just let them have fun at least one good day, and then after that it could go away. It could just go away. But we get a little precipitation. We get a little snow, and as soon as it hit the ground it turns into water. So right now we facing icy roads, 18 wheelers hanging, not hanging, but they're on those over highways, and they are some of them are stranded up there, and they probably scared to come down because they know they're gonna slide and probably lose control. And they had the news people caught one of them going up a ramp, and he decided that it was too much, so he backed all the way down the ramp. So the ones that's on top of those overpasses, they know they shouldn't have gone over those bridges, because we have a lot of high bridges, and all that under there is gonna freeze and get that it's just gonna freeze. And so they shouldn't have went. Well, they should have really blocked those overpasses. That's what they really. I think next time what they do, they probably will block those overpasses, those real high overways. I think they'll probably block them like they do the flood after they learn now, so to not let anybody, because there are ways to get around it, where you go on the lower the feeder roads, what we call them, or the lower line roads, and could go the same route direction as you would going over those. So they're probably scared to come over those big ramps now, and they stuck up on those ramps and scared to come down, because you may come straight, you may come down like you're supposed to, or they truck may start fishtailing and they go over the rail. That's happened too. So uh they'll learn next time, or when they go to another state they won't do that dumb stuff. Oh, he didn't get much where he is. I know you can. I know you'll be able to rest. I know you'll be able to rest. So you other people that's watching in the bushes or whatever, can y'all hit the like button? I know me and Patricia not the only ones that's in here. I see other people in here, so if y'all can go ahead and hit the like button, it's okay to look. If you don't want to drop down in the chat and speak or say anything, then hey, just hit the like button. It don't cost you anything. All I can see is the number go up. The number go up or down. I can't see you. Yeah, my cousin them, they were saying how they ate their snacks the first day and talking about I had one cousin, she goes all the time. She stays in the street, in the country, and she was about to have a fit. So she gonna talking about she was going out to check the roadways to see what it looked like. And one of my other cousins said, "Who you going to check the roads for? Everybody else is in the house. Ain't nobody thinking about going nowhere but you, and everything else is closed. The little town is pretty much shut down." So they was like, "Who you check roadways for? Nobody." They say you just want to get out there in the street. And she tell them, "Oh, hush up." But I ate baked potato soup. I hope it don't mess with my stomach because I had some cheese in there. Me and sometimes cheese don't get along, and it was I think a little rich, and my stomach is just, I could hear the bubbles or whatever just shooting across the stomach like they having a war in my stomach, just making all kind of noise. So I hope I'll be all right, and so I chewed some gas eggs, and I might have to go take some Atlanta to kind of settle my stomach. So I hope it don't bother my stomach like I ate something the other day. Oh, I ate a salad for the first time in a long time, and it really messed my stomach up. So I hope I don't that don't happen again. A lot of people been making stew. They've been making soups. They've been making gumbos, chili, big pots of spaghettis. I've been saying if you got kids that's at home and stuff, y'all parents need to, not you, but parents need to cook like big pots of something like stews and chilies and soups and stuff like that. Big pot of beans, something that's gonna stick to their stomach. Something with mashed potatoes or some kind of potato dish or something like that, where that food could stick to their stomach instead of getting all that cereal and milk, and then they gonna be hungry the next 5 minutes. Most kids, they get big-eyed. They see you buy all these snacks at one time. They know that mama, usually go to the store every week and get so much at a time. But you coming in there with all these bags at one time. You come in there with 5 or 6 boxes of cereal and 4 gallons of milk at one time. What they gonna do? They gonna eat cereal and milk all day, all day, all day. Pop-Tarts, Pop-Tarts. All that fast stuff. Noodles. Hey, Mocha, how you doing? They not gonna eat stuff that's gonna stick to their ribs and stuff like that. So you gotta cook stuff that's gonna, maybe even beanie weenies, because beans, that's what beans, whether you put sausage or you put the wieners in there or whatever. Cook some people, even though it's too starches, put it over rice, something that's gonna stick to them, stick to their ribs, because otherwise you're gonna be out of house in the home by the end of the week or before Tuesday start, and y'all ain't gonna have no food next week. And from what I was looking at the weather, I saw that Friday it's supposed to rain 40%, which that could change, but 28 degrees in the morning, and the highest is gonna get is 50. So that means it's a repeat of next week, could be. So I don't, hey, you just never do know. So like I said, they need to, and they buying all that bread and stuff. Yeah, sandwiches and stuff is okay, but you have to kind of, while you at home, monitor them as far as what they eat, because they're not gonna do nothing but keep going get snacks, keep going getting juice, and then if you tell them they can't have it, all they gonna do is sneak it, and then when y'all get to cleaning next week, sometime you're gonna find all the candy wrappers, all the juice boxes, all that be under their bed, in their room, and all that kind of stuff. That's where it's gonna be at, in their room. They're gonna be and hid them, just like somebody we know, or get fruit and stuff like that. Even make Jello and stuff, that's gonna last. people need to think smart and not hard. So let me see. Let me acknowledge everybody that's come in. So far, I guess everybody want to see about this. Did I put World Series in there? I did go to the World Series. So my name is Classy Lady. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are catching me on the replay, you can skip to like about the 10-minute mark, and that's where you'll hear me start my commentary. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to my channel. Hit the like button. Watch some of my videos and my lives, my short, and some of my shorts. But yeah, y'all, I did go to the World Series. I know anybody can make these t-shirts, but I did. I went to the Florida Marlins. I went to the World Series in Florida with the Florida Marlins. Go Fish. See, I got my Marlins hat on right here. I have a signature of one of the baseball players, which is my cousin. Because otherwise, a classy lady that like glitz and glamour, I probably wouldn't have been at a baseball game, because I always thought baseball was so boring. And when I started watching it with that, since my cousin was playing, it all of a sudden got real interesting. So yeah, on a regular, ordinary basis, I would not have gone to any baseball games. When they played the Astros, I would go to the Astros games when he would play, whatever team he was with at the time, because he went to different teams. He went to the White Sox. He went to I think the Cardinals, to the Dodgers. He played for the Rangers. I think he started out at the Rangers. I think he got signed with the Rangers first. But he played with different teams. And he was center field. Played center field. And he was a good center field. And he was a good person that ran the bases. That stole the bases. He was a good person. I mean, he was good at what he did. So, yeah. Hey, Gloria, how you doing? I forgot one more thing. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm coming. I messed this cord up. I knew I shouldn't have left this cord out. Oh, this is with the Marlins. Who is this? Is this one? He signed my card, and I left it out, and I should not have. That was one of the cards that he signed, and I left it out for something. I don't know what I got on it. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I went to the World Series. 2000, I think it was 2007. It wasn't 2007, it was 2008. I'm gonna have to Google it and remember, because I did something else on in 2007. I threw the first pitch out for a game to start. I did that. I know in 2007, but I think this was 2013, 11, 12 or 13. No, 2003. It's on the shirt. Duh. It's 2003. 2003. Yeah, like I said, anybody can get those shirts made. Anybody can get a Marlins hat, but I'm not going to Florida to get that. But you can't get that signature of number 9. You can't get that signature of Juan Pierre, or number 9. My cousin made these. This has his name on it, and it has the Marlins, and she tried to do the colors. She was one of the ones that we all went, and something else you can't get. You can't get this either. So for people that's listening and say, oh, you didn't go, you can't get one of these World Series plastic jackets if you wasn't now. You can't get one of those. You can't get one of these ribbons that say World Series. So no, I didn't like baseball really too much, but when he started playing, it got real interesting, and that was before he even went to the World Series, because when he would come to Houston and play the Astros, you can't hardly see this. When he would come and play the Astros, he would always, after the games was over with, he would come to a certain area and sign autographs. So anybody that was in that area where he came out at, or the family would be waiting, he would sign our autographs, and including the family. We were fans. He would sign our autographs and things that we had. If we had a T-shirt on and all that stuff, he would sign all that. Hey, Cindy, how you doing? Hey, Gloria. Yeah, so he would do all of that. So it was fun. Yeah, Patricia, and I still have my ticket in here too. And the crazy thing about it, y'all know how they sell them tickets for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I tell you, you get fans that actually go to a World Series game, you get all kind of stuff. This was a World Series ticket. Let me see if I can still see the because even though we were family, we still had to have a ticket to get in. The ticket on the ticket was like $59. That's how much you probably can. That's probably a high price ticket that you can get at any other game, and that $59 will probably get you way down, at the bottom on any other day. But on this particular day, this ticket, and it had the price on it, $59. And do you know people pay thousands of dollars and scout tickets on the outside of the stadium because people be wanting to go into the stadium. This one was actually $60. It's still on there. This World Series ticket was actually $60. It's still on here. I can still see it. But of course we didn't pay for it. But like I said, if you tried to get a World Series ticket, that was I'm glad I wasn't no dirty or wasn't hard up for money, because I'd have been on the outside trying to scout a ticket. We've been on the outside trying to scout a ticket, but it wasn't that serious. It wasn't that serious. I rather do what we did, get in the game. They gave even little tins with World Series. I couldn't find the mints. I know I have a bag with some of that stuff in there, but they gave like little mints with World Series on the tin printed on the outside. That's stuff that you don't get rid of. They had 2003. Like I said, we got the hat. No, I think my cousin, I don't know if we bought these hats or he gave us these hats. It was one of them. And my cousin made these beads, like the colors, and she actually sold these beads because it has his name on them. And one of the news, we met so many people. One of Josh Beckett was a pitcher at that time, and he was from Houston, and him and my cousin played on the same team. Dontrell Willis was one of his best friends. They may be still friends now. Was a best friend of his back then. One of the Alex Rodriguez. All those guys were real young and stuff. I can't think of some other ones. I would have to try to see if I could find a roster. But that Alex Rodriguez, it's probably several different one of them. But the one that played on with him, that joker was fine, and that joker was nice looking. Nice looking. Before the World Series, we went down there one other time, and we were able to get all the way to the back where all of the players were, and we were able to get in the press and family room without everybody else. Now we were first cousins, and we were 4 girl first cousins went down there. The boys didn't go. For some reason they ain't want to take off or whatever. But it was 4 of us first cousin girls. We all went to Florida, and we had a chance to stay with him in his penthouse. And but that wasn't the World Series. That was another trip we went to down there in Florida that concerning him, where we got to meet a lot of the players and the coaches, and we got like balls and stuff. Got them to sign stuff, autographs and stuff like that. And that's why that Alex Rodriguez, one of the ones that was playing back then, they were, and they Mercedes trucks and all of that or whatever. And I was like, take a picture. I say, give me a peace sign, take a picture. And so I can't find the pictures and stuff like that with, him on there where he was doing the peace sign, getting in his truck. They used to would clown, and we would make them clown too. We make them clown and stuff because they like that attention. And he may have had people there that particular day, but they wasn't down there in the family room back there in the back where we were. We were back there with some of the other ones. And like I said, Josh Beckett was from Houston. His family was there, and a couple of other ones were there for one of their home games. So we went down there for them. But yeah, I did. I actually went to the World Series. This is another autograph ticket when he came to play, when he was playing, who was he playing for? He was playing for the Marlins, but they played the Astros. They played the Astros here in Houston, and this is my Houston Astros ticket. But I ain't paid for that either because he would leave. They got so many tickets for the families and stuff like that. So this was a free ticket, so I ain't paid for this one either. But I don't think this is a regular game ticket. This wasn't no expensive ticket, not like the World Series. And we were in the dugout box. We were down there by the dugout. Yeah, all of the family members, we were down there, and this was when it was called Minute Maid Park. Now it's called Daikin Park. Where they get that name from? I think some Asians bought it and then got it named Daikin Park, whatever Daikin Park mean in their culture. Maybe it's a good name for a stadium, but that's what it's called. And like me and some of the other ones, we always call it Minute Maid Park. We're gonna always call it Minute Maid or something like that. We ain't gonna never, Daikin Park just don't sound that don't sound good. That don't sound like a good name or nothing like that. But yeah, that's when that was yeah. But they gave all kind of all kind of little trinkets and stuff. And what I was gonna say, one of the radio personalities, she was there. She was, I think, I don't know if it was an FM or AM station. We ran to her, and we had T-shirts made, and I couldn't find my T-shirt, and it's with his name on the back, and it was the same color as this, but it has his name on the back, and we all had them on, and after the game, the guys they went to a special tent to go and eat afterwards, and we could have went, but we was like, nah, we all sweaty and stuff, and we don't want to go with them, and we wasn't looking too good after the game, because when I tell you, classy lady must have acted a fool up in that park. I told y'all, when I go to them games, I be having a whistle. Oh, and they gave us like a towel and stuff. I guess they figured we was gonna sweat. When I tell you, fool, and I screamed so much in that stadium, the people around me, they was like, good thing we were sitting on the opposite side. So it was us, and a very few family members were sitting over there with us, but we was on the opposite side of the that they was playing. But when I tell you I clowned over there, them people couldn't do nothing. They couldn't do nothing but when the game was over, but hit me on the arm and say, they played a good game. Congratulations to y'all, because I must have talked noise, smack, and everything over there. Blowing the whistle. My cousin would say, girl, you going to get us beat up over here. I say, they can't beat us all. Somebody better run and go tell the story. Somebody better live and tell the story. I said, they can't beat us all. I say, so I'm going to cut up and carry on while I can. Like that song they got now. This my type of carrying on. Yeah, I have an ex-boyfriend that used to play softball. They used to be so fun. They used to be so fun. Was it the Colorado Rockies? This was one of the games. That was the game we went to. They played the Colorado Rockies. Yeah, that was the game they played. So that was just a few of my little old memorabilia that I had. But yeah, I did actually go to the World Series in 2003. They won the World Series that year as well. They won. They won. And his parents were sitting over there by Ice Cube and all of them folk over there on the other side. Because his dad was saying, it's some famous rap over here. He said, I don't know, Ice Dog, Ice somebody, whatever. And he said, man, what your name is again? And he told him Ice Cube. He said, oh, he said his name is Ice Cube. And we were like, cuz you sitting over there with Ice Cube and some other ones. And he was like, can you get their autograph or something? Time, man, I ain't gonna be bothering them people. So we didn't get a chance to get their autograph. But they was on the other side with the, of course they was with the parents, and they got the, the better seats. We got the other family seats, which was fine to us because we had a good time. We didn't care if we sat over there. I mean, after we knew who they were sitting by, yeah, we cared then. But when we first got there, no, we didn't care. We just was glad to be in the place and glad to be there. But the day of the game, my cousin them went to his house, and they went and had breakfast with him. I couldn't go to breakfast because I was that night before, I don't know, I had ate something and I was throwing up and I was weak and everything, and I didn't get a chance to go to breakfast with them that morning before they got ready for the game and stuff like that. And so they was just spending some time with him. And so he was wondering where I was. He say it was supposed to be. He said, I thought it was for y'all that came down. He say, where's my other cousin that they say she at the hotel. She not feeling good. So he was like, oh man, she gonna be able to go to the game. And I told him, I said, when y'all come back, y'all stop to a drugstore. Y'all give me some Lanta. Y'all give me some 7-Up or ginger ale, and give me some Tums. Give me everything that I can have for my stomach. Some anti-diarrhea medicine, everything. And they did that, and they got me like some Gatorade and stuff that I could put the electrolytes back in my body. And they gave me something to settle my stomach, and I just kind of slept until it was time to go to the game. And they was like, cuz, you all right? You think you're gonna be able to go? Child, after me taking that stuff and laid down, and they went do some other things before we left, baby, when they came back, I was getting ready. I said, y'all ain't leaving me. I might have to put a diaper on, but y'all ain't leaving me. A diaper and a barf bag, but I'm going to the World Series game today. I ain't fly all the way down here for nothing. Hey, y'all know me. I like to go too much. So no, I'm going. So I made the game. I did make the game. Yep, sure did. So we had a good time. We had a good time. Hey, Lady Porsche. Hi. Welcome over. If this is your first time over, consider subscribing and come back over whenever I come live. I usually try to come live at 9 o'clock. I usually try to be consistent, but I'm going to start trying to come on a little bit earlier, maybe 8, maybe 7:30 or 7, somewhere. I'm going to try to fit in that time until, and then when the traffic start getting a little heavy over here from the people in our sector, that's why I've been trying to go at 9 o'clock you know, so everybody can get their turn, and then I'll come on at the 9 o'clock. But I want to come on a little bit early so I can catch some of the people that be going to bed at 9 o'clock because of the time difference and the time change. And since nobody had anything scheduled, nobody was coming on, I say, well, let me try to go on at 8:45. I was going to try to come on at 8:30, but I was kind of, you know, running behind time. So that's what I'm gonna try to do from now on, if I can. If I can't get in earlier, then I'll be scheduling at 9 o'clock. I'll be coming back at 9 o'clock. But like I said, I'm gonna try to come on earlier so I can catch some of the people that normally goes to bed early. And then I don't know what everybody's doing now. I would think it would be more people on and I know a lot of people not going to work tomorrow because a lot of people are still snowed in. Um, but you know, people are still spending family time, and I hope that y'all got to spend family time with your family and things of that nature. Did some bonding, and I hope y'all not giving people at the police dispatch no hell tonight because y'all fighting. Y'all can't go hang out with your homeboys. You can't go to your baby mama house. You can't go to your side piece woman. You can't go to your side piece man. Y'all can't meet up like Mrs. and Mr. Jones. Y'all can't hang out at the sports bar and all of that tonight because the weather is bad. So I hope I hope y'all getting along. Can't y'all all get along? It ain't been but 2 days, so y'all ought to be able to get along for 2 days, and then hopefully tomorrow in some area, most areas will be back to normal, and y'all can go back to work, and then y'all can maybe next weekend y'all get a chance to hang out, and y'all can be away from each other, whatever. But at least this weekend, y'all give the essential workers like the police and stuff, DPS, y'all give them a break. They're already dealing with the inclement weather out there, trying to get people off the road, trying to get, you know, getting pileups and all of that. Y'all give them a break. Let them do something different instead of fooling with y'all shenanigans and y'all doing this crazy stuff. You know, the thieves and everybody, y'all got to be in the house too because it's too cold to be out robbing and all that kind of stuff. And not only that, you ain't got nobody out there to rob. So y'all give those people a little grace and they don't have to deal with y'all foolery tonight. So yeah. But one of my other trips, it was cousins and his aunt again. When my cousin first, I kind of got to Florida to kind of help him, you know, with his transition. His aunt and some of us cousins again went down there, and we went to a game. Well, that was the things we did. That was one time I went down there with the cousins. The second time was the World Series, and we stayed with him, which was real nice. He let us women. He had 2 extra rooms, so he let us stay with him, and we stayed in his penthouse with him. We drove instead of us having to rent a car. He had a second car, throwback car is what he called it, what he would drive to practice and stuff. He let us use that car. So we used the throwback car to ride around Florida in. And he gave us a spare key, and he introduced us to the front desk and let them meet us that we were his cousins and we were going to be staying in the penthouse. And so don't give us any problems and stuff. And we say, well, put our names down somewhere so y'all will know who we are because we don't want to have no problems. So we did. They were nice enough to put our names down and stuff. And they knew who we were. So we were able to go back and forth up in his penthouse or whatever. Now, I like bingo. And back then when we went, I used to love bingo. I was going to bingo all the time here. I was going because I was winning. I was winning in Houston. I was winning. Why we go to Florida and we just riding, just looking around, you know, the area where, let me see. Um, we flew into Miami. Uh, I think Orange Man. I forgot what Orange Man is from. You know that man, this color, that color, that had that tan. And we flew into Miami, but we were, I don't know if we were in Miami or just a little smaller town over. But we were in a more richer part of Miami. And while we riding and we looking, finding some places. And at that time, him and his friend used to go to Tony Roma's. He said they ate there every day. They ate at Tony Roma's every day. I say, y'all ate at Tony Roma's every day? He said, yeah, when we didn't, if we didn't want to stay with the team and eat afterwards, because the team fed them after the game, they fed them well. He said, sometimes, we just got tired of, we just wanted to meet our best friends. We wanted to just go somewhere else. But he said the times we didn't have a game, or the times we did not stay for to eat with the team, we went to Tony Roma's. I said, I don't know how y'all don't get tired of that. But anyway, we was riding around, me and my cousins and stuff. While I looked up on the kiosk and I saw bingo. I told my cousin, I said, y'all know I love to play bingo. They was like, well, they was looking for something. We was looking for some stores for either some shoes. One of the cousins needed some shoes, or I think they bought some sandals and broke their sandals. I don't know. It was something dealing with some clothes. Or they wanted to buy some shorts or something like that. And I saw the samurai looking and reading signs, and I saw bingo at the top of the thing. I told them, I say, can we go see what time bingo start over there? I said, because I want to go to bingo. It was like, no, you don't. I said, yes, I do. So we turned over into the bingo hall, and I get out, and I go in to see what time the bingo starts. Y'all, I get out, the people say with a bingo, say like it's 4:45. Bingo started at 5. I get out, I go tell them, I come back to the car and I tell them, I say, oh yeah, they say bingo start at 5 o'clock. And they say, you gonna be okay with staying? I say, yeah. I say, I should be okay. I got money. I say, I got y'all, I say, y'all got y'all cell phone or whatever. And I say, I'll call y'all. I say, and not only that, in about an hour or hour and a half, I say, y'all come back. I say, y'all circle back around. If I haven't called y'all come back. Lord, y'all, they drop me off. I go into the bingo hall. I sit down. I find a table to sit down. While I was in there playing bingo with a bunch of little old white women, I say, girl, you done it this time. Now, one black, I think maybe one black, and they was old, so if anything would have broke out, they couldn't help fight. But anyway, a bunch of little old, when I say little old white women, I'm talking about in the late 70s, 80s, and barely could hold their head up. I say, now you done it now. I say, your ass just always want to play bingo, and here, look what you done got yourself into. My cousin them had already gone, and they was already where they had to go. So I say, forget it. I'm here. I'm a play bingo. I'm going to go ahead and roll with the punches and play bingo. So they do it like if they do it at my church. They had like them little one cards or 3 of them on a card. They not playing many at all. I'm used to when I go to bingo here. Well, now they got computers, but back then they had the sheets. And I'm used to where it have the big sheets, and I'm playing several sheets at a time. I'm flipping sheets trying to find the shape that you trying to find, the numbers and the shapes and everything. They was calling bingo so slow. I was like this. And I had about 9 of them little bitty cards. They were the one sheet a piece. I had 9 of them, and they would call the number. I hurry up and dab my number, and I'd be like this. Them little old women would be trying to find their number, and then the ones in front of me, I'd say, there go the number right there. There it go. And the ones on the side of me, I say, there it go right there. There it go right there. I'm helping them, and then dab my numbers and everything. So I think I even won a game. Won a game of bingo. I won $12.50. I said, girl, you need your behind whoop. $12.50. I'm usually playing $12 and $20, $30 on pull tabs. $12.50. What was that gonna do? I'm used to winning 500, 750, 1,000 at bingo. That's what I'm used to winning. $12.50. When my cousin them came back around to get me, I think I was outside. And give you a little cup of juice or a soda. I think they had cups. Somebody was going around or whatever. When my cousin them came back, I couldn't wait. I fell in the back seat and I just fell out laughing. They was like, how was bingo? I say, y'all. I say, bingo, it was nothing but a bunch of little old white ladies and a few men. And I say, may have had 1 or 2 black people in there. And I said, if anything went down, they weren't going to be able to help. I was going to have to take all them people on by myself. I say, y'all. I say, and I had enough nerves to bingo and won $12.50. My cousin them was crying and laughing at me. They say, well, you wanted to go. We could have, why you didn't call us? We'd have swung back around and picked you up. I said, I figured y'all had done found the stove or wherever y'all was already in there. So I didn't even want to bother y'all. $12.50. Yeah. But that's what I want. But also, so we the penthouse that he lived in, his penthouse, it wasn't owned by him. It was the next penthouse over that we could see because it was on the beach. Donald Trump owned the penthouse right next door. At that time, we didn't know nothing about Donald Trump. You know, Donald Trump, we had heard about Donald Trump, you know, Trump Towers and things of that nature. Donald Trump was a name as far as a billionaire and stuff that we knew about that, but we didn't know back then the Donald Trump we know now. He wasn't the same. Because you know, Donald Trump was in the beauty pageants and all of that. So that's where we had heard the name Donald Trump from. Not the Donald Trump that's in politics now. But yeah, that's where his and we asked, did Donald Trump own the penthouse that he was in? And they said no, he didn't own those penthouses. But he owned the penthouse building right next door. And I mean, it was right next door. You could take some binoculars and probably look in somebody's window, you know, because a lot of people don't have blinds and all that kind of stuff in their windows and stuff like that. But yeah, he so I don't know if, I don't think it was Mar-a-Lago. Could have been Mar-a-Lago. I don't remember. All I know is that we flew into Miami. We flew into Miami and we were that far from the Trump Towers there. The Trump penthouse. I'm not going to say the Trump Towers because I think the Trump Towers is something totally different. So that's the same thing. Yeah, but he lived right next door to Donald Trump penthouse. So yeah, that was an exciting trip. And also on that trip, that was the first time I saw Usher in person. Usher was a little bitty boy when we saw him. We were walking back from South Beach Strip. We were walking back because we parked one place and we walked to South Beach. We didn't have that far to walk. So when we were coming back on our walk, Usher was there and he was in a limo. And we looked over and we saw Usher. And we was like, Usher. You know, he was a little old bitty something then, just starting out. And we was waving at him and stuff like that. And he was waving at us and all of that. So that was our first appearance seeing Usher. And then Missy Elliott, I saw her. Missy Elliott was in a, I don't know the cars, say like a Maserati, one of those fast sports cars or Lamborghini or whatever was famous back then in 2003. I think one of her favorite colors is blue. I've seen her in a lot of blue stuff. But anyway, she was in a blue one. And I was walking like this. Me and my cousins, we were walking, and she had pulled up, and she was like in traffic. And I looked over, and she put her window down, as in, you know, y'all see me, she was by herself. And she put her window down, and I looked, and I say, there go Missy Elliott. And I got my camera, and I was taking a picture, getting ready to take a picture. And this woman, when I said Missy Elliott, she gonna jump in front of me and try to take a picture. I pushed her away. I say, you saw me here first, and I got a picture of her. I say, I pushed that woman. I say, you saw me here first, and then you gonna jump your dizzy butt in front of me. I say, you saw me trying to take a picture, and Missy started laughing, and she smiled over and cheesed at me, and I took her picture. Got that somewhere. I got to find that in a photo album somewhere. I don't know where stuff at. So, yeah, I got a chance to, yeah, but the woman gonna jump in front of me. I'm like, you gonna get your butt out the way? Yeah, I pushed her out the way. I got a streak in me sometimes. So I don't know put my hand on people and stuff like that, but it pissed me off. I told my cousin, I said, yeah, that go Missy Elliott. I got my camera out, and she turned and was smiling for me, and I was getting ready to take a picture, and this woman gonna jump in front of my camera. I must have pushed the hell out of her. You don't get out the way. I'm trying to take a picture. I say, you saw me here first, and then I got my camera back, and she smiled at me again, and I took her picture. Yeah, I'll tell you, get your ass out the way. Hey, Shadow's mom. Okay, Mar-a-Lago is West Palm Beach, Florida. Okay, now he have a penthouse on one of them beaches there too. Or he had one. I don't know if he lost it in a bankruptcy thing or one of them things or whatever. But he has a yeah, but it was a penthouse that he owned that was right next to it. Yeah. Yeah. So, and we were, what's that? Oh, what's his name? I can't think of his name. It's one of those famous people. One of those designers. He lived on South Beach. And he was unalived on his front. No, that wasn't Louis Vuitton. Oh, and his sister took over the business after him. He lived on, was it Versace? I think that was him. I think it was Versace. Yeah. Shadow's mom, you own it. You know that Florida. Yeah, he stayed on South Beach. And we went in front of his home on South Beach to see, we saw where he lived at and stuff. And they said that every morning he would come down, and one of those restaurants, he would come and get his coffee or half coffee, and then go back to his beachfront property on South Beach. And one particular time when he was going back, somebody unalived him, I think, on his front steps. Yeah. Donatella, yeah. Something like, yeah. Took over the business. Yeah. Versace is expensive. I used to have some glasses. Well, I had some frames, and I had my prescribed glasses put in some Versace glasses. And that Versace is still going on now. I remember at one time it was and they made the same type of shirts. Some of they make the kind of print, use the prints of the Versace prints now. Almost they kind of mimic that, but they're not Versace. You actually have to get that at the store. But the chain links, it's kind of like the chain link print is what Versace was, and then the is it a tiger? No, it's a lion head. I think it's a lion head is the symbol, and what they have the glasses with the gold on the side, and the they have like the thick frames and the lion head on the side. But the shirts were, especially the shirts and the designs back in the days in the 80s, because that was the stuff that all of the drug dealers growing up, that's what they were wearing. And the shirts back then was $400 and $500 back then. Now I'm pretty sure they 12, 15, $2,000, $3,000 now to try to go in. No, I would say more than that to because he's no longer living. So I'm pretty sure they're way much more now. But even back then they were expensive for a young person to try to go in there and buy shirts. But that's what they were buying. But you have a lot of chain link clothing, like for women and stuff. Because I personally like that design myself. When I see anything with the chain link or that type of print that reminds me of Versace, I love that print. I love it. And anytime I can see it, I get it. Oh, it's a restaurant now. Oh, wow. It's called Medusa. Well, I'm gonna have to go. I haven't been to Florida in years. That was the World Series was the last time that I've been to Florida. No, take that back. I went after that because he got married. That was my 1, 2, 3. That was my fourth time going to Florida as an adult. I went as a high schooler. That was my fifth time going to Florida. And when he got married, I went back to Florida again for his wedding. But yeah, I would like to go there, especially if it's a restaurant now. I would really like to go there. Oh, so that's what it's called, a Medusa. But that's a Oh, yeah. You right. That's a it got the little ridges, and it's got, yeah, that's right. So that's called a Medusa. That's what it's called. See, I learned something at 58. That's why I say you're never too old to learn. Never knew what it was called, but yeah, that's right. It's not a lion head. It is a different symbol. So I'm gonna have to, yeah, a Medusa. I never did know that. Oh, good to know. Now I know what I was wearing, a Medusa frame. So now I know, because I was looking into buying another set of glasses this year, but I don't think I want to pay $500 or $600 for some frames. The frames that I was seeing with that symbol. I don't think I want to do that this year. Now I think I'll be going on either Zilul or Zilul, whatever that one is, where I can get them $7 frames. And I put in there, and I think the frames with the glasses, the progressive lens, I can get them for. I think mine is $110. Yeah. So I figure I can get me for $220. I can get me 2 sets of glasses with the pretty frames, or 3, because I normally spend $300 or $400. But at least if I spend $300 or $400, I can get three different sets of glasses to wear with, change them up. These right here are reading glasses. I got these from the TikTok shop, and I think I got a clear pair. Well, this is the clear, a brown, and a black. I think it's only 3. I got to look in the bag in which I put them. It may be 4 colors, but I'm thinking it may be 3. But anyway, these are reading glasses, and that's why I don't want to get any prescription glasses with the reading glasses on them, because I always end up doing this, trying to see the prescription at the bottom, as where these I could, this whole thing is reading, and then I can just get the other ones just for distance driving. And I don't necessarily have to have my glasses on for distance if I don't put them on. So yeah. So okay, so I'm gonna have to check that out about the Medusa. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into most stuff. But I know it was chain links. It was the Medusa with the chain links on them, and that's the style that I liked. I still like that style. Whenever I see, like I say, clothing with that on it, I like that. Yeah. So, but let me go on here and see who all then came up in here. Make sure I got everybody. I think I didn't acknowledge everybody that chose to down in the channel and say hi. The rest of the people in the bushes are looking at me from afar. They don't want to come down. But that's okay. Because like I said, that's fine. As long as you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new. I would appreciate that. Check out some of my shorts and lives that I've posted. Get me out there in the algorithm. I got a long way to go, but that's okay. My dad asked me yesterday, he said, "You getting paid for that?" No, he asked me that Friday. I said, "No, sir." I said, "I got a long way to go before I would even think about trying to get paid." So knowing that, to let y'all know, my life does not run off of YouTube. YouTube is not my money maker, not my breadwinner. I've paid my dues to society. I wish I could still be, working or whatever, but unfortunately, I had to do a medical retirement, and I'm not trying to go back to work. I'm not trying to go back to work. I done did it. God done took me off, and I'm a follow like I'm supposed to do and stay off. I wouldn't have but a few more years to retire anyway. But hey, so I appreciate y'all coming over, hanging in there with me for this hour. I guess people probably thought I really didn't go to the World Series, but I really did. I really did. Had a good time. That's why sometimes y'all see me early when I was playing the music, I had my phone facing the other way. And this is my my little suitcase that I keep. I'm gonna turn it around. Keep it halfway packed. This is my Dooney and Burke train case. I keep that that's pajamas and stuff. I keep it packed in my toiletries. Keep this little bag in there. And all of these boxes, people probably say, "Oh, she keep a junky room." No, I don't keep a junky room. All those boxes is jewelry. I wear a lot of costume jewelry. And each one of them has its own colors in there. You can see over there, you can kind of see pearls and stuff. But each one of them, it's about 18. I have about 18 of those shoe boxes. All kind of jewelry. That's my colorful jewelry and stuff in there. But all of these are jewelry. What the colors on? I need to relabel them, so that I'll know what's in. I know what's in them. Oh, let me turn that back around. I know what's in them, and I know what colors in them, and I know where they at, and pretty much where I can find them at. But yeah, that's not being junky. That's when I couldn't reach at the top of my closet to get some of that stuff down, to get them down when I needed to get them down. And so my brother came and took them out and put them down there. That's 18 of them. And then I have 3 big, large tubs under the bed. But I do wear a lot of costume jewelry when I am out and about. I do wear sterling silver, and I do have some gold and diamonds. But uh, sometimes you have to, pick and choose your battle as to where you're gonna wear stuff. Now I do wear my sterling silver pretty much. I have it on all the time. My little James Avery bracelets and my bracelets over here. Those I don't take off, and things of that nature. But when I talk about the diamonds and gold and stuff like that, some my mom have give some of them are my mom's, and my mom is no longer here. So I pick and choose. What is that on my shirt? I pick and choose as to where I wear stuff like that at. I mean, you just can't these days. The way people are, people hungry, needing money and stuff like that. So I just don't. I've kind of retired them from wearing it right now. But some of my costume jewelry that's gold and have the bling in it, it be shining more in the you can see the reflection in the window of my car or on the roof of my car. So I have to be careful with that, because somebody go and rob me, and then they look again and they got some costume jewelry. They really gonna be mad when they get up and down the road. But anyway, I done been on here an hour, and like I said, I want to catch the news tonight, and I want to go ahead and charge my phone up, because they say tonight is supposed to be bad. I don't believe them ever since yesterday wasn't bad, so I don't believe them till tonight is gonna be bad. But out fat meat is greasy, so hey. But with that being said, thank y'all for coming over, spending this hour with me. Hopefully y'all will come back and see me again. Same channel, different time. Classy Lady gonna talk to y'all later. Angels on everybody's pillows, and I hope y'all have a blessed night. Thank you.